Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covered. Three-handle family credential.
Mamma mia!
And now, Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, GregUnchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
Number 4, armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Tuesday. You know what that means. It's time for a bonus episode, which, of course, given what went down yesterday, can only mean one thing. We are talking evolution. I wish they were like, talking about my evolution. We could make that a song, right? C-Jaii, you know how to do things. Make that a song.
I will not make that a song coming from your voice, Greg.
Talking about my evolution.
Oh no, we should totally do a like an evolution remix, like the Line in the Sand evolution. Let's do that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but joining me, as ever, when we talk WWE, C-Jaii. How are you, man?
I'm great, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, but we are not alone. You see, BigBoy Mikey misunderstood me when I told him that I was taking the week off, except for Evolution. For some reason, he thought that meant I'm taking the week off, including Evolution. So BigBoy Mikey's wandered into the chat.
Yep, I'm off the bench. I'm in the lineup. Let's do it.
How are you, Big Boy?
Good, mate. Good.
Yeah. We were going to be joined for the first time ever by a lady voice.
Yes.
But she's a regular human that sleeps at normal hours, so Danders couldn't be with us. But we're looking at possibly doing some more podcasts with her in the future regarding women's wrestling, potentially. We're working things out. We'll see how things go. But, you know, if WWE's Evolution pay-per-view is anything to go by, and we've known this for a long time here at the B+, but women's wrestling is where it's at.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all in agreement, right? This was a really, really good fucking show.
WWE pay-per-view of the year for me. Main roster.
I think it'd go close.
Main roster pay-per-view of the year for me.
It's definitely got to go close, which is an absolute testament to the women.
Absolutely.
But I mean, there are a few things to talk about. Like, let's start with the kickoff show. They had a red carpet.
Yeah.
Is that sexist? Or is it awesome? Because I thought it was awesome.
No, I like that.
I think they should do that for every pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean, I know they do it for, like, WrestleMania, Hall of Fame, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. If they turned Evolution into one of the, maybe like a big 6 every year, like one Evolution pay-per-view a year, yeah, I'd say all 6 major ones, like SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and that, should get the same thing, but I like the touch of it. I think it looked good.
Yeah, I love the red carpet for the simple reason that I love seeing, like, I like seeing them dressed up. I know that sounds weird, right? But I do. I like seeing them dressed up, like seeing Finn Balor in a nice suit kind of thing, you know, at the WrestleMania Hall of Fame. He wasn't there tonight, of course. But seeing, like, Finn Balor in a nice suit or something, you know, I like that. I like seeing what people are rocking in their fashion wear.
That's where you're right.
When they're just not tap-out shirts?
Yeah, when they're not in workout gear, because that's all you see wrestlers in is their gear or workout gear. It's nice to see them in the suits, like when they rock up to the building and stuff. Sometimes you get a glimpse, but it's good to see, like, because, you know, like someone like Roman Reigns is a very fashionable individual.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know? Baron Corbin too, which, I mean, we see a bit more of that now that he's you know an authority figure, and we're talking about men.
I was about
this
to
is the
say.
problem. This is the problem.
This is the problem.
I am part of the problem. I am sorry.
Yep.
No.
Greg, you're a cowboy. You're only used to your cowboy ways.
Oh man, that game is incredibly sexist.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the game, though. Let's talk about WWE Evolution.
Yeah, well, no, so that brings us into a good point, though. Something that happened on the kickoff show that made me very uncomfortable. Beth Phoenix thanked the unsung heroes of the women's evolution, the men.
They did that at the pay-per-view, too.
They did later in the show too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
How awkward is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks it's awkward?
No.
Am I being like overly PC or something?
No. Renee Young, like I didn't see the one for the pre-show. I didn't even bother with the pre-show, to be honest. But the later in the show when they did it, Renee Young thanked Michael Cole and she said something like, I know you helped me pay the way for me. Like you've always been supportive of me. That's okay, but yeah, thanking especially all the men backstage too. It's like, hang on,
Yeah.
it's like
I
you
think
could've done
the
that
way she said it,
360
kind of made it sound like there are specific men who were big allies. Like it would have been nice if maybe if she called out a couple, like said like Mick Foley, for example, because Mick Foley's always been a big advocate for the girls, or
Triple H.
Triple H, or even like she did mention like our husbands and things that support us because like Edge and it would have been cool to. I don't know. It just felt really weird to me.
Yeah.
It felt really weird. And also on the kickoff show, they kept running these packages of just what evolution means to me. And I was just waiting for like Lacey Evans or someone to pop up and be like, evolution means that we're turning away from God. Like, that's what I wanted. I just wanted someone to go on an anti-science rant.
If anyone would have done it, would have been Lacey Evans.
Oh, yeah, it would have fit the gimmick for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. She's a classy Southern lady.
That's exactly right.
She don't need none of your science.
But speaking of pre-shows, actually, I don't know if you guys knew about this as well, but the NXT UK Women's Championship was also defended in a dark match.
It was. Let's not talk about who it was because it's for a later NXT UK taping, and we don't even know who the women's champion is. Wink, wink.
No, we don't.
So,
I just like the fact that officially every women's championship was defended.
Yeah, technically speaking, like at the live event, every single women's was defended, which is really cool. So we'll get on to the main show. Those were my only 2 points from the kickoff, and if you guys didn't watch the kickoff, I don't blame you. Nothing else really happened. It was just a lot of video packages, really, and then. We move on to the main show, which starts with Nina Strauss on guitar and Lizzie Hale singing about evolution. I thought it was pretty cool, but like also, I don't need this in my wrestling necessarily.
I reckon it would have been better to open the show like them playing as the video package went, not so much.
Yeah,
like just standing in the middle of the ring. I just didn't understand that.
Yeah, and then they announced that they were live on Twitter. What the hell was up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, who even knew they were live on Twitter?
I thought it was Tout.
I saw it around the place, but I thought that was weird.
I thought they were live on Tout. They're not a thing.
On Tout.
Tout. Mate, you're living in like 2010 there. What are you doing?
Funnily enough, my wife actually called that because my wife actually sat down and watched the Evolution pay-per-view with me, which, that's I guess what the magic of this night is, actually having the women sit down and actually watch a show with you. And actually, she was actually like, oh, shit, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But she called it too. She's like, oh, don't they do that tout thing anymore? I'm like, holy crap. Where did you think of that from? I was like, I haven't thought of tout for years. But, I don't know where this Twitter live thing is gone. But anyway.
Yeah, it was odd. It was really nice for me. You mentioned that, the great thing about like an all-women's show is that it's more likely to get women to watch, which is really nice. And I agree with that. My partner already will watch wrestling if it's on and stuff anyway. But it was really nice to sit and watch it with my daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
She came and went. She didn't watch the whole show with me, but like at one point she came in and she was like, I think it was during the Battle Royal. She came in and she was like, I don't like any of them. Where's Carmella? And I'm like, oh, Carmella already got eliminated, darling. She's like, that's stupid. Can you play your horsey game? But then she sat down and she fell in love with Kairi Sane, man, the pirate princess.
Oh, yeah.
She was all on board that, and she liked that she was wearing pink and white and stuff. And so she sat with me through that entire match and a couple of others. It was really good. Yeah. So yeah, it's really cool. Like you don't think about this. Well, at least I didn't as like a single dude or whatever. You don't think about it, but like having my daughter be able to look at that and be like, well, they're like me with long hair and they like pink and like, you know what I mean? It was
Right.
really cool to see her connect with that.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I sat watching Evolution after work, and I put it on in the room, and my fiance actually sat and watched the finals of the Mae Young Classic and the NXT Championship match, and she was really enjoying those matches as well, and the main events. And I've never really seen her get so involved with it, but she loved this event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that NXT Championship match. Look, let's get to it. Yeah, so let's start with the matches then. At the beginning of the show, Trish and Lita opening things up, which was really nice to see them open it up, in theory. And then Mickey and Alicia, obviously, are the team they were up against because Alexa Bliss is injured. Alexa Bliss comes out, cuts a promo, and then the match is on. And the match was abysmal.
It was okay for
Am
people.
I being harsh?
No. I think it was not so much abysmal, but I think it was decent for people who hadn't sat in the ring for 10 years.
I suppose. I mean, they both looked better in the Royal Rumble.
True. But then again, they didn't really have to do as much in the Royal Rumble too.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean, look, for me, just looking at the rest of the night that followed, it was just that that pop moment. That's all that match was. It was always made for that. It was for the fans of the Attitude Era and the Lita and Trish. That's all it was. It was a quick little moment for them, and that's it. Like, I sort of got brushed past that it was a shit match, mainly because I knew exactly what that match was for, and
Yeah.
nostalgia.
I mean, I think a couple of moments, it was a nostalgia kick. I think a couple of moments stand out. Lita's poetry in motion was particularly bad, and hard to watch. And then Alicia Fox breaking up the 2 count, but the ref stopped counting before she got there. It was like watching AAA Triple Mania all over again. The ref stopped the count before it was broken up because reasons. It was kind of annoying. To me, the match should have ended right there.
This is where we need Randy with a soundbite saying, "Do your damn job."
Do your damn job. But it was for me. The reason I'm so the reason I'm so low on this match was that it was opening the show. This was live on Twitter, which you got to assume it trended and people watched it there or whatever. And so if someone's tuning in like, oh yeah, let's see if women's wrestling has improved since, they used to roll around in their bras and panties, and they're going to tune in and see that as opposed to, maybe starting the show, controversial here, but if you're not going to close the show with it, why not start the show with Charlotte and Becky?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Give them that match for free, that one match, and I guarantee you they're calling their pay-per-view provider.
Yeah.
So, I know it was a little frustrating. Then we moved on to the 20-woman battle royal. So it almost felt like they put the kickoff on the actual pay-per-view,
which was nice,
and put it live on Twitter. I didn't think it was nice. I thought it was pathetic, but that's me.
See, I don't know. I feel it was good for like filling a spot, because they needed to make time, of course. But having the Hall of Famers going straight before the Battle Royale, I think that was a good mix. If they had put them in the middle of the show, say for example, if they put the Battle Royale after the NXT match, the Battle Royale would get booed out of the building.
I don't think it would have got booed out of the building. It was a really well-booked Battle Royal.
I don't know. I feel as if it wasn't as great as it could have been.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with the start of it. I will put my foot down and say that Billy Kay and Peter Royce were the wrong people to be the heel people on the microphone and have throw out the first. They should have been it.
You're kidding.
No, that was
a good
perfect.
spot.
I love that
I
so
hate
much.
that they got
Yeah,
buried.
that's
pretty
what I
much,
hate.
but
They were out within 2 seconds. I'm like, oh,
They
okay.
should
No, but think about it. It's one of the main moments you think about.
I get that part, but it's just like I really would have loved to see more of Peyton Royce and Billy Kay. At least keep one of them in for the duration of the Battle Royal. But anyway,
Right. Well, see, I'm gonna disagree with you completely, and I love both of those girls, and I think that they're severely underrated in the ring. But at the moment, what they are annoying heels, and so their bit was on the way to the ring. They actually had more feature than anyone in this match, except for Nia Jax, Tamina, and maybe Ember Moon.
fair
They
enough,
had
fair
more
enough.
featured time than anyone else.
yeah, true.
So to me,
Oh, and
like they did a
Carmella.
brilliant job, and it was and Carmella too.
Yeah,
Carmella
fair
had a
enough,
good
fair
amount of time. Yeah, with the dance break.
Oh, that was fantastic. I loved it.
dance break, and then Ivory. Like, what was up with that? It was so random. Molly Holly getting eliminated early. That bummed me out.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting many of the legends to last long.
Yeah.
Alondra Blaze
no,
did really well.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely, for her age. Look, but here's the thing, right? I think that it was really well booked, and let's talk about the real story coming out of this match, right? I mean, Nia and Tamina teaming up, oh yeah, cool, that's awesome. And then they, ended up facing off as well. But Mandy Rose eliminated Sonya Deville.
All business.
It's all business.
And hearts around the world were broken.
Nah.
And, many fan fiction about what their makeup backstage would look like was written.
Oh, mate.
Mandy and Sonya, though, are heavily underrated as a duo. Like, they're not Riot Squad level. Nowhere near Riot Squad level. Riot Squad are basically the female Shield. Like, those guys, they're inseparable. They're fantastic and brilliant. But I really enjoy Mandy and Sonya. I get a similar vibe from them, that they're actually legit friends. And they may not be at all, I don't know. But I like them a lot together.
No, I can understand that. I see them as not as top contenders, but as contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships when they eventually come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're one of those teams that are better as a team than as individuals.
Like,
although I think Sonya Deville has a lot of upside, personally.
Sure, but if you think about it, there are a lot like, and I don't mean to bring up another male group, but there are a lot like Forgotten Sons from NXT. They're there when you need a fill spot.
I guess.
I picked the winner of this Battle Royal, by the way. Just want to point that out there. If we go back to the preview cast, I picked Nia Jax to win. I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
he did.
yeah.
On the preview, he said Nia Jax, and we both said Asuka. So
yeah, good point.
It was he absolutely picked it. But moving on, Toni Storm, Io Shirai, fantastic match. We all picked it in our hearts. I thought logically Io Shirai was going to win, but I was wrong. Toni Storm is the winner of the second Mae Young Classic. Another one of our girls doing it big over there in America and the UK, really, because she's NXT UK. But she won the Mae Young Classic. Fantastic! Congratulations,
You
Toni
have the
Storm.
two
big
fun,
congratulations.
like battle royals, plus nostalgia moments. Now we get into the real stuff of the night. This was the start of the real show. Those two matches
the start of the real show.
On the pre-show. This was the opener. Holy shit! What a match! Both girls just killed it. Just absolutely killed it.
I feel like it was toned down to what they would have done if it was at Full Sail. Like at Full Sail, they would have done more of their indie-rific spots.
Yeah, I feel like Vince had a lot more of a say on this one. I think he was more, don't let these guys shy out my main event.
Yeah, he was the executive producer on this, not Hunter. So, and you could tell. You could 100% tell. Yeah. Right down to the commentary, you could tell. Like the team of Michael Cole, Beth Phoenix, and Renee Young were much better on the Mae Young Classic episodes than they were on this paper.
Oh, I just want to point something out. You just mentioned Michael real quick. I'm actually really annoyed he was on commentary. I don't know why, but it just frustrates me.
Yeah, I think Beth Phoenix could have done a perfectly fine job at play-by-play.
Yeah.
She's actually... Renee's more there for color, I think, but Beth Phoenix is surprisingly good at play-by-play. In fact, I think she did just as much of it as Michael did in terms of calling moves.
But I think that's because she also has more of an in-ring experience than Michael does.
Yeah, but I do understand, though, that Michael Cole is there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not that, he is... I mean, if you go to NXT, he helps produce them. He knows what he's doing, he's good at his job. So, but yeah, I didn't have a problem with that. Like everyone was like, "Oh, it's all women's pay-per-view," but there's men refereeing and Michael Cole's on commentary. Like they have 2 women referees.
Yeah, I didn't care
get
about
incredibly.
I don't know.
Some people did.
Yeah.
Some people on Twitter will always find something to complain about. Yeah, well, look, I mean, going into this pay-per-view, I thought it was going to be crap, but it turned out being really good. So I'm kind of happy that I tuned most of the Twitter stuff out.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, Riot Squad versus Boss Bailey and Natty. This match wasn't great. I mean, it was good. Riot Squad are always fantastic, but I know the other team. It sucks how far Sasha Banks and Bailey have both fallen, I guess.
Yeah, I've started to actually call Sasha Banks Botcha Banks. Just, yeah. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of stuff lately that she just hasn't been able to do. For example, the jump over the suicide dive over the top rope when she nearly killed herself.
Yeah.
And Riot Squad pretty much acted on instinct and caught her. Like, that was just,
Right, yeah.
just straight away, that's like, all right, that's another botch by her. She does them every time she's in the ring, man.
Bailey impressed me a little bit more tonight.
I guess it's more for me. It's less that she's botching and more that she has a insane kill yourself style.
Not so much a insane style, really. That's just her.
Yeah,
botching.
I get that. Bailey for me was a little bit more impressive than recent weeks for me. The Riot Squad, on the other hand, amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the 3-on-1 attack on Banks into the barricade.
Yep.
I also liked the little touch. Like, I feel like WWE are getting better at sewing little things for us to pick up on, but unfortunately, the commentary like to hammer it home and not let anything. And I think that's Vince in the headset, but they just hammer it home and don't let anything breathe. They don't let you sit there and notice a moment for it to be called back later. They have to tell you.
Yeah.
Right? Like Natty putting the double sharpshooter. Right?
Yeah.
Which, Ronda has been doing the double armbar. Yeah? So then Natty doing the double sharpshooter to the same team. And it was kind of one of those moments where it's like, okay, this might come into play one day when those two eventually have their feud, especially because you got to think the 4 horsewomen will be behind Ronda. And so,
sure.
Like there's stuff that can happen there. But they don't let you think that in your head because they just shove it down your throat. That's like Ronda did. It's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But at the end of the day, it was the frog splash that got the win for Sasha Banks.
I'm so annoyed Liv ate that pin, but it's all good.
Yeah, I think they're much higher. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. I think all 3 of them are fantastic, but I think they're much higher on Sarah Logan than Liv Morgan.
Probably.
Because of the power, because she's a powerhouse. They like their powerhouse women.
They do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think all 3 of them are future champions. I think they, like, literally when I call them the female Shield, like, I believe that in my heart.
Yeah, actually, I can understand that.
Ruby is the Seth.
Yeah.
Liv is the Roman. And Sarah is the Dean. Even though Sarah is the power and Liv is the crazy, I'm talking about in terms of where they'll end up.
Yeah, I can see that going up.
That's my theory, anyway.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And then, match of the night for me. Baszler versus Sane 4.
Yeah,
yes.
Second match of the night for me, Second match of the night. Yeah, that's going to be my
It's a
match
close
of the night.
call
But
with Becky and Charlotte.
just knocked it out of the park again, these two.
I'll give you my pitch for why I thought this was match of the night. Because of the entire arc with Shayna Baszler, right? So Shayna Baszler was talking about, she didn't get beaten, she made a mistake, and she's going to learn from her mistakes. Yeah. And her having her girls at ringside, meant that she wasn't alone, because that's been her biggest mistake. She will never admit that, right? She will say, look, she got me in the same pinning predicament, and I got out of it, and I came back, and I won the match. And she won't mention that her girls were cornering her. They didn't corner her, but they ended up jumping the barricade. But she won't mention that because she has finally become the cowardly heel, but not really a coward because she is still kind of a badass. But she's got that insecurity now of she was never able to beat Kairi on her own.
Yeah, true.
She had one fluke win against Kairi, and then she hasn't been able to beat her on her own, and she needed that help, and that was how she fixed her mistakes. Plus, the callbacks to the story of the callbacks to the story of Kairi not having that killer streak to get it done, and the way she gave both of the other horsewomen the spinning back fist that just knocked them out cold.
Oh, I liked that.
And then she didn't quit. She passed out.
Yeah.
So I just thought the way the whole story tied into the larger story with these two women and the way their characters are going on like different paths, I just thought it was such brilliant storytelling.
Yeah, definitely. It was 100% one of the more better story told matches of the night. And I agree with you, Greg, here that this was my match of the night because I thoroughly enjoyed this. I don't think there was a moment where I wasn't sitting on the edge of my seat.
And I think for us too, correct me if I'm wrong, Mikey, but for C-Jaii and I, watching the product as we do so intimately every week, every single hour of the shit WWE puts out, it's we're going to be more invested in this one because it has had good matches constantly. It has had good story constantly. Whereas the Becky Charlotte one, like, this was a phenomenal match. Up next, Becky and Charlotte, but it was just like, okay, we've seen Becky and Charlotte 100 times, and they're always interacting.
Yeah. No, I get where you're going with that. For me, it's because I expect NXT and NXT UK. No, I just call it NXT. Both Tony and Shirai match, and then also Shayna and Kairi. I expected those matches to be awesome, and at the end of the day, they were. Where Becky and Charlotte, I knew it was going to be a good match, but I didn't think it was going to go to that level. So that's why, for me, they exceeded my expectation, the NXT matches, but it was Becky and Charlotte that went, holy shit, this is what Becky and Charlotte should be doing. Done.
Fair enough. Well, let's move straight to it. So we had Kairi saying lose the NXT title. So she's not going to come out with a treasure chest with the title in it anymore, which sucks because I love that gimmick. But she lost the title. She passed out in the choke that Baszler does. Then we move on to Becky and Charlotte. This is Mikey's match of the night, with good reason. It was an amazing match. Holy crap. Like, the things these two did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became a TLC match almost.
It pretty much did. All they needed to do was hang the belt up high.
Tables, ladders, chairs, and kendo sticks. Oh my.
It's almost like TLC and stairs.
No. Just no. The stairs were so stupid. I mean, wait, did they even do a spot where they set the two stairs up and had the ladder on top of the two stairs?
No.
Why would you not do that? If you're going to have a table, ladders, and stairs match, put the ladder on the stairs, because stairs are used for climbing as well. No? Like, God damn. It's basic. It's basic stuff, you guys. You get that added elevation. Anyway, this became a TLC and kendo sticks match, which is way better than TLC and stairs.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the better hardcore matches I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that spot with the leg drop through the announce table, which, how good is it that the women got to do the announce table spot? I mean, the women were the only people on the show, but...
Oh, yeah.
More of this,
I love this.
More of this.
Yeah, definitely.
On a lesser scale, I don't want to go the whole comparing thing, but Becky versus Charlotte kind of gives me an old school Stone Cold Rock feeling. Because Becky is the female equivalent of Stone Cold Steve Austin right now.
Yeah.
She's so badass, but she's not going to get booed. Like, she's never going to get booed. She's so good, she'll never be a full heel. She can't be. Similar to a Stone Cold. Oh, hands down.
I think she got the biggest cheer of the night.
And then Charlotte, she gets her moments.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
People adore her because, she's sort of the female Cena. I was about to say female Roman, but we won't touch on that one this week. She's a female Cena. She gets kind of shoved down our throats a lot. People get sick of it. And, she's always going to cut those boos. But then she'll do really cool things through a match and get those cheers back. But yeah, it's a fantastic match. These two have such good chemistry. Out of the 4 NXT horsewomen, whatever they wanted to call them, these two have the best chemistry out of all 4. I'd say that's better than Charlotte and Sasha from last year, for 2 years ago now, sorry. Better chemistry, in my opinion. These two, easy, hands down. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sasha and Bayley, though, have a great chemistry. It's just been kind of ruined for whatever reason. You mentioned, so of course, if we're talking about the 4 horsewomen, we should also go back a little bit. We'll just rewind quickly and touch back on that NXT Championship match. Yep. Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir did get involved. We called it. We knew they'd get involved somewhere tonight. We thought either here or the main event. They did get involved and helped Baszler get the win. Yes. So I should mention that because it's another one of those moments where commentary, it was so bad. I had to tweet about it even. Renee Young just being like, well, they're the 4 horsewomen, but we also have our own 4 horsewomen here. There are 2 groups of 4 horsewomen. It's like, yeah, okay, we get where you're going with this. Put down the mallet.
Yeah, we're like, okay, we get it. Survivor Series is coming up. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't even know if it'll happen at Survivor Series because they're not on the main roster yet, but I mean, it'd be cool if it did. How cool would an NXT versus WWE Survivor Series be?
That would probably be why they should build to it, honestly. They should build to that, but let's talk about that later.
I hope this leads to a little bit of a It's only going to be the three of them because obviously Ronda's not going to be on NXT. But I imagine a little bit of a stable there with those three on NXT, a bit of a women's stable.
Yeah. You know what I think would have been great, though? And this is going to be controversial. I think it would have been great if Ronda lost in the main event and lost another match and lost another match and removed herself to NXT to be with
That'd
her
be
girls.
Cool. That'd be cool.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, Greg, curious question for you, man. Have you been shopping recently?
I have not.
Mate, well, I've got some good news for you. I know you're not a big fan of crowds, as most of us here at the B Plus aren't. Have you heard of Threadbox?
I have heard of Threadbox.
Man, then you would know how good they actually are. I mean, I just received my first crate, and holy moly, I'm amazed. Guys, if you're listening, go check out threadbox.com.au, and they have everything from hats to socks to shirts to pants. It's fantastic. With email to a personalized stylist and customizable crates, it's honestly one of the best things I've had. I don't know about you, Greg, but I really enjoy it.
I got a crate the other day, and they gave me new jeans, a couple of new shirts, and the cool thing is, one of the shirts I tried it on, and it was a little bit long for me, and I thought this accentuates how short I am in person, and so I sent them an email, and I was just like, hey. This shirt, I feel like it makes me look really short because I'm kind of short. And they were like, send it back. We'll give you something else next month, like an extra thing. So I'm going to send that shirt back. And then next month, they're going to send me out something else. And I said to them, I've got lots of shirts. And they were like, well, we'll send you some accessories. And that's how Threadbox do it. It's kind of fantastic.
See, how good's that? And with our special code, the B Plus 15 at checkout, actually saves all our fans 15% at checkout on their first box. How cool is that?
Yeah, so head to threadbox.com.au today and use the code the B Plus 15 to get your first box as soon as you can. But yeah, so then before we get to the main event, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Hashtag fuck Saudi Arabia, hashtag cancel Crown Jewel, hashtag move Crown Jewel. They ran an ad and the commentators did the whole, like, put the graphic on the screen and talk about what's coming up. And I mean, they do this at every, like, when they're doing Hell in a Cell or whatever it was, and, you know, the other show was right around the corner, the Australian show. They did it then too, you know? Like, it's not unique. It's not like they were like, haha, no women on the Crown Jewel, let's talk about it now. But it just felt really tacky. And apparently it got huge boos from the audience that had to be edited
I've heard
out.
I've heard it was nasty. The response was very nasty from the crowd. Obviously, I watched the delayed version, so they'd already edited that out. But yeah, it was.
Well, I watched it live and I didn't hear it. Like, they'd muted the crowd. But like, how tone deaf do you have to be? Like, this is a crowd that are there to see women's wrestling. The people who paid for tickets to go to Evolution, right? They're going to be more hardcore fans, I think, and I think that showed too.
Yeah, definitely,
because the crowd were really good. But it was one of those things where, like, these are people that are here to see women's wrestling, and you're going to plug a show in Saudi Arabia that has no women on it. And not just because it has no women on it, but because of everything that's going on with the whole Saudi thing. Like, it just felt really tone deaf.
The whole Crown Jewel aspect on Evolution, it actually frustrated me. I can understand that the crowd would boo them completely out of the stage, really, because it didn't belong there. I mean, if the women aren't allowed on Crown Jewel, then why are the Crown Jewel allowed on Evolution? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I do admit that what they're doing now, we continuing with Crown Jewel, looks like a really bad move, but having it advertised on an all-women's pay-per-view, that's going to burn some bridges right there.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Okay, so just before we head into the main event of Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey, I just want to touch on the one thing that kind of frustrated me with Evolution. It's probably one of the only things that did frustrate me, and I don't know about you guys, but they kept advertising Evolution as a sold-out event.
Right.
Now, the Nassau Coliseum can fit 14,500 people just in the basic seats. That's not on the floor. However, the actual attendance was 10,900.
Okay.
So it was severely underselling the entire thing, with ticket sales averaging $70. Like,
well, but if that's all they put on sale, then technically it's sold out.
Yeah.
I suppose you've got to count for behind the screen. No, I learned about that stuff behind the screen.
No, but
when we did Sydney.
No, but you are right, and you are right in some aspects because WWE have always inflated their crowd audience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
And not by ridiculous amounts, but just like weird stuff. Like they do like extra like 5,000, 10,000 just to put it over. Like the Dallas WrestleMania, it didn't hit the number that they said. I know you guys aren't fans of him, but the one thing that I do like listening to from Meltzer is when he corrects some of the things that WWE says. Like, you got 100,000 and they got 90,000. He does say that, okay, like the numbers were 90,000. People get all silly about it. But
Yeah, but
you
look,
are
at the end
right.
of the day, they're carnies trying to convince everyone that they're the biggest show on earth.
Absolutely.
So,
And you know what? They are.
let's not forget that that's what wrestling is. They're carnies. So,
Yeah.
of course they're going to con you on the numbers. Like, I don't believe anything that WWE say, ever. As a rule.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it
Yeah.
until I see it, you know?
Can I get my little thing off the chest before we go into the main event?
Go for it.
Fantastic show. I'm very happy that WWE, the biggest pro wrestling sports entertainment company in the world, putting a big highlight on women's wrestling. But what really frustrated me tonight was the extra, hey, pat us on the back for the women's revolution. Pat us on the back for creating women's wrestling like this. It's like, hey, hang on. I know some people don't care too much about other little promotions, but Stardom, Shimmer, Shine, Pro Wrestling Eve, about a billion other
Rise.
Joshi, Rise, a billion other Joshi promotions in Japan, millions of Mexican promotions. They even PWWA from here in Sydney. Women's wrestling is not a new thing. The women's standards aren't a new thing. It's WWE is putting the biggest.
Well,
highlight.
not even just women's only promotions though, Mikey. Not even
No,
just women's only
exactly.
promotions.
I know.
Even like look at places like AAW over in the States, or look at it's just all over the place. PWG had Candice LeRae doing intergender stuff. Jordan Grace, rocking the indie scene. She, like you said, she does about 24. Like you said on the Impact cast, she does about 24 different promotions a month. You know,
absolutely.
Women's wrestling. I talked about this with Aaron Dick on the Aussie Graps show. The whole Evolution thing is a marketing gimmick. They stole what was happening already, and it's a ground up thing. And they were like, "Oh, we're the spearhead." No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's an uprise.
Yeah,
it's not a spear.
Right. It's like, they're not the spear. I'm happy for them to, because they are on such a big level. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of extra young girls in the crowd tonight that would have sat there going, "Oh, mummy, I actually want to be a wrestler." If that helps, then fantastic. I'm all for it. The more women's wrestling, the better. But yeah, don't give yourself a pat on the back for being the real women's revolution. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, it's a real mixed bag with me for that.
Yeah.
It really is. Like going into the show, it's been a real mixed bag. Like I was kind of half anti-evolution, especially with the Crown Jewel stuff going on. I'm like, I kind of just want to be anti-everything. But but the show itself ended up being really good, and surprisingly, the main event delivered. It was probably Ronda's best match to date. Ronda ends up winning with the armbar. Not much else to say about the match other than Nikki did her job. And can the Nikki haters stop now? Can they stop?
No.
Yeah, because
what are they going to do? Are they going to say Ronda carried her to a good match?
Probably. That'd probably be what it is, to be honest.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. No, Nikki Bella is a good wrestler. There, I said it. Like, what's it going to take for people?
Oh, she's better than Brie.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I don't even...
and Banks.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, she's good at what she does, man. And she's worked hard to get to where she is. And I actually think that she probably deserved to walk out champion more than Ronda, to be honest with you.
We'll agree to disagree on that one, mate.
Same.
Fair enough.
I'm with you on that one, C-Jaii. Because, like it or hate it with Ronda, I know there's a lot of people that hate it because she come on in as a big star and skipped all the NXT stuff and blah, blah, blah. But, but Ronda Rousey is an absolute superstar in...
Yeah, of course.
Mind you.
In pop culture in general. She's going to be the reason, and I want to ask this question after we get through the Nikki and Ronda match. But I do want to ask the question, what's next for the women's revolution in WWE? Ronda is going to be the person that gives the women the main event picture at WrestleMania, and regardless,
possibly. I don't think she was needed to do that though. I think if you built them correctly, any other woman on the roster, Charlotte and Carmella could have main evented WrestleMania.
Absolutely. But just what WWE is like. You know what WWE is like. They need that. They love their marketing. It's all about the marketing, and
of course. And look, a lot of people were so upset about this being the main event instead of Charlotte Becky. Us being one of them. All three of us, I think, said that the Charlotte and Becky match should have been the main event based on the build.
Yep.
But the build means absolutely nothing. You know what does mean something? Tickets were not selling well. They announced Ronda versus Nikki, and tickets went quickly after that.
Right. Exactly right.
That matters. That really matters.
Yeah,
it does.
And that's what matters to Vince. He sees dollar signs in his eyes, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, and not just that. Fox, too. Fox would be so... I mean, we know Fox want it to be more sports-like. Fox want Daniel Cormier on commentary, apparently.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they want Ronda, right? So that's part of their getting $2 billion backed up to headquarters in that big old money truck. So, of course, Ronda's going to be the main event. It makes a lot of sense. But it was a good match. Like I said, it was Ronda's best match, in my opinion. And overall, the show was, probably one of, if not the best overall pay-per-view of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. It was, one of the best. Honestly, if they build it right, it could potentially be top 6.
Yeah, they could. They could do it again. And I hope that we get a women's TV show, to be honest, because if seeing this made you realize anything, it had to make you realize that these women can carry a weekly show. Well,
did you notice? We spoke about this last week on View from the WWE Universe, where they were handing out signs to say, "We want women's tag matches."
Yeah,
right.
They did it at Evolution as well, apparently, from what I saw.
Now, Stephanie McMahon has also gone on record saying that we're going to see them a lot sooner than we think.
Yeah, I think that we're going to get another tournament-style show on the network for similar to the Mae Young Classic with women's tag titles to see if there's a market for it as a network show, which there is, and it will work. And the thing is, I mean, look at it. Do you think the 205 Live roster could have put on a show on the par of this?
To be honest, no.
No.
They could put on a 2-hour show, maybe, but really they have an hour show for a reason. They have a very thin roster. That's not their fault. But what I'm saying is if they can have a 1-hour show on the network, the women should have a 1-hour show on the network, at least.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that at all.
I think when... Yeah, I think you're right. I think when Mae Young Classic ends, put the women's Division 1 there. Yeah, but I mean, now that it's off the thing, maybe tomorrow they announce the women's division will officially have their own hour where all of the women can appear on that.
Yeah. I think it's the way to go for the future. I definitely think that's the way to go, and I look forward to it if it happens.
Maybe instead of a Dusty Tag Classic, they go with a female Tag Classic, like a Sarah Del Rey Tag Classic or something. Who knows?
They could even run it. They could even run it together. They could have. Yeah. They could even run it together. They could have 2 tag matches a week, 1 men's, 1 women's, to build towards the finals. There's a lot of ways they can go. Imagine that, a show on the network that's just tag team wrestling, a women's tag match and a men's tag match. Holy crap, I'd be in heaven.
With Teddy Long as the general manager?
Oh, God.
You had to take it there. You're a jerk. All right, that does it for Evolution. That does it for WWE Evolution. Before we go, did anyone else watch the Hardy's Haunted?
Yes,
Hardy House Halloween or whatever it was called?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch it, Mikey?
I haven't yet. I'm looking forward to it.
It was fantastic. If you like weird shit in your wrestling, women wrestling, what's with that? That's weird. No, if you like weird shit, this was fantastic. And this is the best thing about WWE having the broken universe or woken universe, right? Because this one was actually done much like the ones that they did in Impact. It was weird, it was wacky, it was wonderful, but the benefit it had was they have a cast of characters that they can bring in, like Boogeyman, like the Godfather, who ended up in the Lake of Reincarnation and coming out as Papa Shango.
Really?
Like
I'm
Hurricane.
very excited. Yeah.
Like Hurricane, who showed up possessed by an evil spirit. Like, this is fantastic stuff, people. If
I just can't get over Matt getting kicked by a kangaroo.
you haven't seen the Impact ones, then yeah, Matt has a kangaroo. This is the thing I'm not sure about. Are those actually his animals?
Yeah, he's got him and Jeff have a little like a rescue spot on their
Right, because
farm.
they had a white tiger.
Yeah, they're rehabilitation animals.
They had a white tiger.
Yeah.
And a giraffe. But yeah, no, Smokey...
With George Washington.
George Washington was... Yeah, because the whole thing is he's reincarnated, right? Like, so, no, but the kangaroo Smokey Joe, he's been in it before. He was in it when they did the Impact, and he's Woken Matt Hardy's training partner. They spar to get him ready.
That's funny as.
And yeah, he gets kicked in the nuts. And you can hear when he kind of starts to break the Woken character.
Yep.
Like his voice changes a little bit, like, whoa, hey, I'm just here to invite you to a party.
I'm very excited to see this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you got to watch it. It's on par with the original. Okay. So CJ,
yeah,
who do you think are the two people in the hoods?
Oh, I don't know.
So what they've done now, Mikey, is it's really well done. Like, basically the way they did this is they could easily turn this into a series where they do like a 15-minute or half-hour episode each week, and it's kind of like Inspector Gadget. You know how you have Claw, right, sitting there with his cat making plans, and you see that, and then you go to the actual episode, which is Gadget and the dog and Penny, right? They did that where you cut to the Hardys and the actual adventure, but then you had these two guys in hoods that are watching them on a screen and being like, oh, this is our plan. We're going to, and it's like really cool. And I'm like, I reckon, hear me out here. Yeah. It's the Young Bucks.
Oh.
Wow.
I don't... Oh, you've got me speechless there, mate. Like,
Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy love the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
They worked with the Young Bucks on the Indies before they went back. And that was the last program they were working. And they've constantly on Twitter, even before the latest stuff with, now the Young Bucks are constantly teasing that they're going to WWE now. It's almost tiring. But even before all that, when it wasn't on the cards, anytime these two get asked about it, they're like, yeah, we really want to work together again, especially doing the Woken stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think WWE, like, if these guys are going completely free agent, right, why not show up on the network as part of the Hardys specials?
I think that's really, without getting them in the ring, that'll be the only way to actually have WWE knowledge, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, and up, down, down.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I think it'd be amazing personally, and so I'm coming out of left field. It's probably actually going to be like Edge and Christian or something.
Oh no! Oh, mind you, they teased to that, so maybe
with the Conquistadors. The Conquistadors were there, Mikey.
Wow,
the Conquistadors.
Wow, I need to go. I need to go watch this.
And Matt Hardy refused to believe that it wasn't Edge and Christian. He's like, "You've done this to me before."
Before we spoil way too much for Mikey,
yeah, you got to watch it. It's fantastic.
It was great.
So highly recommend
is it YouTube or
everyone
network?
out there and
network.
Okay.
Network. Yeah,
going on right now.
Yeah, highly recommend the Hardy special to everyone out there, especially if you like just cheesy cheese, like B grade television, sci-fi, fantasy ridiculousness. Oh, it's amazing.
Greg, real quick question. Was that WWE's version of Willow, or is that just a completely different character?
What do you mean?
Jeff.
Oh, Brother Nero. No, that's Brother Nero. That's his Woken.
Oh, really?
Or are you talking about when he went into the Lake of Reincarnation and then came out and was acting all weird like a pimp?
Yes.
No, I think that was just because Godfather went in and then came out as Papa Shango. So then when Jeff went in, he came out as a pimp, I guess? I don't know.
See, Jeff went in first, though.
I don't know how the Lake of Reincarnation works, man.
It was weird. They called him...
It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
No, they did mention his name.
No. CJ, it's a mystery. Evolution is a mystery.
Oh, God.
See, because this is the Evolution podcast. I thought that was funnier than it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was funny in my mind. But that does it for us here at the B Plus podcast, guys. Where can people find you?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Facebook at CJ's World and on Instagram at CJ's_World.
And you can find me on Twitter at BigBoy_EST86.
I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We, collectively, are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit the B Plus Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, give us a 5-star review. It really, really helps. And thank you so much for listening.
Ciao.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
So, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it. Dummy. Hold three. The moss covered.